Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we'll be exploring the world of Hong Kong cinema, and specifically we'll be focusing on a true legend, Sammo Hung. Now, you might recognize him from his incredible on-screen performances alongside Jackie Chan.
Oh, absolutely. A true icon of martial arts cinema.
Right. But what we're going to uncover today goes way beyond his acting career. We're going to delve into his wider impact on the industry and discover why he holds such a legendary status. And to help us with this, we have our amazing expert in Hong Kong cinema.
It's great to be here. Ready to dive in?
Perfect. So I gotta admit, when I was first reading up on Sammo Hung, I was blown away by something I never knew before. Did you know he comes from a serious film dynasty?
Oh, yeah. His family history is incredible.
Yeah, it's not every day you find out someone's grandmother was basically a martial arts pioneer.
Exactly. We're talking about Tian Tsai, often called China's first female warrior.
Wow, China's first female warrior. That's a pretty impressive title. I mean, she appeared in films like God of Gamblers and Journey to the West.
Right. Imagine that kind of legacy in your family. Generations of martial arts expertise passed down.
Absolutely incredible. And speaking of passing down expertise, Sammo Hung himself was like a big brother mentor to a whole generation of martial arts stars. We're talking about the likes of Jackie Chan, Biao Wenhua.
They're all part of the legendary Seven Little Fortunes.
Ah, yes. The Seven Little Fortunes. Now, for those who aren't familiar, can you explain what that was all about?
Sure. So the Seven Little Fortunes was a group of students from the Yuan Shamyuan Drama Academy. This academy was incredibly rigorous. They trained in Peking opera and martial arts for hours on end.
So basically like a super intense performing arts boot camp.
Pretty much. And that shared experience created a really special bond between them.
Makes sense. You can see that chemistry on screen in their later collaborations. Films like Dragons Forever, Wheels on Meals, Project A.
Absolutely. Their timing, their energy, the way they play off each other, it's all a result of those years spent training together.
It's like they had this secret language of movement.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that while some of his future co-stars were still learning the ropes, Sammo Hung was already working behind the scenes in the 60s as a martial arts choreographer.
Yeah, I read about that. He was working on films with legendary directors like King Hu, even while others were still doing stunts.
Right. He had a hand in classics like Drunken Master and A Touch of Zen. So you can see how early his success began and how deeply connected he was within the industry from the very start.
It really sets the stage for his later role as a mentor and a leader in the industry. Which brings us to a pivotal moment in Hong Kong cinema. After Bruce Lee's passing, Sammo Hung stepped up and brought together this incredible group of talented martial artists.
The Hung Clan.
Right, the Hung Clan. It's like he assembled this kung fu supergroup and helped launch the careers of so many iconic figures.
Absolutely. Think about Lam Ching-ying, the unforgettable Mr. Vampire.
Oh yes, classic.
Then there's Wu Ma Yun, Biao Yun, Watching Carlock. The list goes on and on.
And it's more than just a group of talented individuals. The Hung Clan really demonstrates Sammo Hung's vision as a leader and his dedication to fostering talent within the industry.
He wasn't just a brilliant performer himself. He had a gift for spotting and nurturing talent in others, providing them with the opportunities to shine.
And some of them went on to achieve even greater fame beyond the Hung Clan.
Exactly, like Zhu Xiaolong, who went on to become an incredible villain opposite Jet Li in so many films.
It's amazing how far his influence reached, but his ambition didn't stop at mentoring. He went on to found multiple film companies.
A true industry powerhouse.
Right. First there was Garbo Film Company, then Bow Harvest Film Company.
And finally, the one that really solidified his position, D&B Films.
D&B Films, where he produced classics like The Prodigal Son and The Millionaire's Express.
He managed to bring together the best talent in the industry for these truly memorable projects.
So he wasn't just an actor, director, choreographer. He was a savvy businessman as well. Someone who understood how to bring all the pieces together to create something truly special.
It shows a different side to him. Often we just think of actors as being in front of the camera, but Sammo Hung was so much more than that.
Exactly. He was a multifaceted force in Hong Kong cinema. And of course, we can't forget about the most flexible fat man.
What a fantastic nickname.
Right. It perfectly captures his incredible agility. He could move with a speed and grace that defied expectations.
And he was more than just a martial arts star. He was a gifted actor who even won acting awards, something that even Jackie Chan hasn't managed to do.
Wait, really? Jackie Chan hasn't won an acting award.
It's true. Sammo Hung won Best Actor at the Hong Kong Film Awards twice. First for Beware of Little Hands, and then again for Seven Little Fortunes, and let's not forget his best action choreography win for The Prodigal Son.
Wow, that's impressive. It really highlights his dedication to his craft. He was constantly pushing himself to be better.
Absolutely. There's even a story about him holding a difficult knee-bending pose for longer than the renowned director Wang Tianlin. This wasn't just someone doing stunts. He was a dedicated artist constantly honing his skills.
That's amazing. So we're starting to see a picture of a truly remarkable individual. A talented martial artist, a gifted actor, a visionary director and producer, and a mentor who helped shape the careers of countless others.
He was a true force of nature, driving the industry forward with his talent, ambition, and willingness to push boundaries.
It's inspiring to see how much he accomplished and how much he contributed to the world of cinema. So far, this deep dive has given me a whole new perspective on Sammo Hung's legacy. What stands out to you the most about his story so far?
For me, it's his incredible dedication to the craft of filmmaking. He wasn't just in it for the fame or the money. He genuinely loved what he did and poured his heart and soul into every project. Whether he was in front of the camera behind it or somewhere in between, his passion was always evident. He was building a legacy, not just making movies.
And what a legacy it is. But we've only just scratched the surface. Coming up next, we'll be diving even deeper into some of Sammo Hung's most iconic films, exploring the themes and techniques that made them so successful. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it.
Welcome back. Now that we have a better understanding of Sammo Hung's background, let's jump into some of his most iconic films. You know, it's a chance to see all those talents in action.
I agree. I'm excited to see how it all comes together on screen with such a huge filmography. Where should we start?
Well, The Prodigal Son keeps coming to mind, especially after hearing about that Best Action Choreography award. It's a perfect example of Sammo Hung's ability to blend different styles and techniques.
I did read about that. It's supposed to be a really great showcase of Wing Chun, which was Bruce Lee's primary fighting style.
It is, and what's interesting is it almost serves as a tutorial on Wing Chun, but at the same time, it's a classic martial arts film with all the humor and action you'd expect from Sammo Hung.
So he managed to create a film that's both entertaining and educational.
Precisely. The action sequences are beautifully crafted, showcasing the precision and power of Wing Chun. But there are also moments of humor sprinkled throughout. It's a testament to his ability to balance those seemingly opposing elements.
It sounds really unique for its time, especially when you consider those intricate fight scenes and realistic stunts.
Absolutely. He really pushed the boundaries with The Prodigal Son, and I think it's safe to say that blending comedy and action became a defining characteristic of his work.
Absolutely. So The Prodigal Son is going on my list. But what other films would you recommend to someone who wants to experience the full range of Sammo Hung's talents?
If you're interested in seeing his directorial skills, The Millionaire's Express is a great choice.
Oh yeah, that's the one with the all-star cast.
Exactly. It's a wild action comedy set in the early 20th century, full of amazing set pieces, elaborate costumes, and of course, incredible martial arts.
It's practically a who's who of Hong Kong cinema.
Right. You've got Yuen Biao, Jackie Chan, Cynthia Rothrock, even a young Yuen Wah. It's a testament to Sammo Hung's ability to bring people together and create these large-scale collaborative projects.
And the story itself sounds like a lot of fun. A kidnapped governor's daughter, a race to find buried treasure, and a whole lot of martial arts mayhem.
It's a classic Sammo Hung adventure. And another D&B Films production.
Of course. So he was clearly a master at bringing talent together both in front of and behind the camera. It sounds like The Millionaire's Express is a great example of his vision and his ability to create a film that's both entertaining and visually stunning.
I think you'll really enjoy it. But we can't forget about Mr. Vampire now, can we?
Oh man, those hopping vampires still haunt my dreams to this day.
It's a true classic, and it played a huge role in launching the jiangxi genre. Those hopping vampires with stiff limbs who can only move by hopping became iconic figures in Hong Kong horror cinema.
It's such a unique and memorable concept.
But what's interesting is that while Sammo Hung produced it through D&B Films, he didn't actually star in it.
That's right. It was Lam Ching playing that Taoist priest battling those terrifying creatures. He was fantastic in that role.
He was. But even though Sammo Hung wasn't on screen this time, his influence is all over the film. His production company, D&B Films, was instrumental in bringing this unique blend of horror and comedy to a wider audience.
It's another example of how his impact extended far beyond his own acting roles. He was a true force behind the scenes, shaping the landscape of Hong Kong cinema in so many ways.
Absolutely. And speaking of iconic collaborations, we have to talk about his work with Jackie Chan.
Oh yes, there's a certain magic when those two are on screen together.
If you want to see that magic in action, Project A is a must-watch. It's a classic action comedy full of breathtaking stunts, hilarious gags, and a story that keeps you on the edge of your seat.
I remember seeing that scene where they're fighting while riding bicycles. Pure genius.
And that clock tower fall. It's incredible to think about the level of dedication and skill that went into creating those stunts. Both Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan pushed the limits of what was physically possible. And Project A is a prime example of their fearless spirit.
It's mind-blowing. And to think this was directed by Jackie Chan, but Sammo Hung co-directed and choreographed the action sequences.
Exactly. It just goes to show how deep this rabbit hole goes. Each film we discuss seems to open up a whole new world of connections and collaborations.
It's amazing, and it makes you realize just how interconnected this era of Hong Kong cinema really was.
It was a time of incredible creativity and experimentation, and Sammo Hung was right at the center of it all, constantly pushing boundaries and challenging expectations.
It's inspiring to see how much he accomplished. And it makes me want to go back and rewatch all of these films with fresh eyes, knowing what we now know about Sammo Hung's influence and his contributions to the industry.
I think that's a great idea. It's always rewarding to revisit classic films with a deeper understanding of the context and the people behind them. You start to notice things you might have missed before and appreciate the artistry on a whole new level.
So where do we go from here? We've only scratched the surface of Sammo Hung's career, and I'm already blown away by his talent and his impact on cinema.
Well, in our next segment, we'll shift gears a bit and talk about Sammo Hung's legacy. What is it about his work that continues to resonate with audiences today? And how has he inspired generations of filmmakers and martial artists? Stay tuned.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of Sammo Hung. We've journeyed through his incredible career, explored his many talents, and taken a closer look at some of his most iconic films. But now let's shift our focus to his legacy. What is it about Sammo Hung's work that continues to resonate with audiences even today?
That's a great question. I think it's a combination of factors. On a surface level, his films are just undeniably entertaining. They're packed with action, humor, and heart. But there's something more. There's a genuine warmth and charisma to his performances that transcends cultural barriers.
I completely agree. There's this magnetic quality about him that draws you in. Even when he's playing a mischievous or comedic character, you can't help but root for him.
Exactly. And I think that comes from a place of authenticity.
Yeah.
He never takes himself too seriously. And that humility shines through in his work.
It's refreshing. And let's not forget his dedication to his craft. That's inspiring in itself.
Oh, absolutely. Whether he was acting, directing, choreographing, or producing, he always gave 110%. That dedication is evident in every single frame of his films.
He was always pushing boundaries, experimenting with new techniques, collaborating with others to create something truly unique.
And he did it all with this infectious enthusiasm that seemed to inspire everyone around him. He wasn't just making movies, he was building a community, fostering the spirit of creativity and collaboration.
So well said.
Yeah.
So how would you say his work has inspired generations of filmmakers and martial artists? What lessons can they learn from his career?
Well, for one, he showed that it's possible to achieve incredible success without compromising your values. He stayed true to his roots, his love for martial arts, and his desire to entertain. And that integrity really shines through in his work.
He also proved that you don't have to fit a certain mold to be a successful action star.
Right. He defied expectations with his agility, his physical comedy, and his ability to blend those elements seamlessly with serious martial arts.
And his influence on action cinema is undeniable. His innovative choreography and his use of practical effects set a new standard for the genre, inspiring countless filmmakers to raise their game.
Without a doubt, he pushed the boundaries of what was possible, both physically and creatively.
So after this incredible deep dive into the world of Sammo Hung, what would you say is the biggest takeaway from his legacy? What's the one thing you hope our listeners walk away with?
I think the key takeaway is the importance of passion, hard work, and collaboration. Sammo Hung showed us that with dedication, a positive attitude, and a willingness to work together, you can achieve amazing things. You can push the boundaries of your art and leave a lasting mark on the world.
That's a beautiful sentiment, and one that resonates deeply. It's a reminder that even in a challenging and competitive industry, there's always room for kindness, generosity, and a genuine love for what you do.
Exactly. Sammo Hung's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit. He followed his dreams, he pursued his passions with integrity, and in doing so, he inspired countless others. His impact on cinema and on the people he touched is immeasurable.
This deep dive has truly been an eye-opening experience. We started out knowing him as a martial arts icon, but we've discovered so much more. He's a true visionary, a generous mentor, an inspiration to anyone who dares to dream big.
And his films. They're a gift that keeps on giving, timeless classics that entertain, inspire, and remind us of the power of human connection and collaboration.
So to you, our listener, if this exploration has sparked your curiosity about Hong Kong cinema, I encourage you to seek out some of Sammo Hung's films. You won't be disappointed.
You might even discover your new favorite filmmaker.
And on that note, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Sammo Hung. We hope you've enjoyed the journey and that you walk away with a newfound appreciation for this remarkable figure in cinema. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the worlds that fascinate you.